I'd like to welcome you guys to VBA TV. I'm your host, Remix02. Today, I'll be breaking down the VBA preseason power rankings, which is made up of 14 teams. VBA TV is here to bring you the ins and outs of the VBA, a 5v5 online team play league ran on the 360. To begin, at number 14, we have the Denver Nuggets. The Nuggets seem to have what I see as the most disappointing bidding this year. Getting mostly mediocre players and only one pretty good player in Tortuga, it looks like this team is going to have a long season ahead of them. At number 13, we have the Los Angeles Lakers. The Lakers already seem to be experiencing the downside of an injury-prone team. With Kobe Bryant out for another 6 weeks, it looks like this team will struggle versus these stronger Western Conference teams. They did have a decent bidding, but with a weak team, there's not much the users will be able to do. Next up at 12 are the Houston Rockets. The Rockets, much like the Pistons, took the route of getting a lot of $1 million players and putting their money into one big name. Although it could work out, much like the Pistons, their chances seem low, especially with these other teams putting together some good squads. Coming in at 11, we have Detroit Pistons. The Detroit Pistons brought in a lot of lesser-known players for the league minimum, and the higher-paid players they have seem to be undeserving of their salary. I think that their money could have been spent wiser, and that in the end it could hurt this team. At the 10th spot, we have the San Antonio Spurs. With people like Crickus Please, Dark Impact, and Angry Alpaca, the Spurs obviously have some talent. Although, this team seems that they got a lot of players for $1 million, and this could be good or bad. In this situation, I see this team is going to be struggling in the Western Conference against some of these tougher opponents. With the 9th spot, we have the Indiana Pacers. The Pacers were able to get a number of solid players in the bidding. Getting Abyss and his crew, along with Crow for $2.5 million, were good steps towards them becoming a good team. With Child at War's history, it's too early to say this team will be successful, but it's definitely going in the right direction. The number 8 team we have is the New York Knicks. The New York Knicks are owned by Mr. Shutdown 52. Mr. Shutdown was able to get some good pickups in people like The Playa, Black Super Saiyan, Garbage Assassin, and Call Me Kyle. With Shutdown being a new owner, it's hard to say how this team will do, but he does have some talent on that team and they could possibly make playoffs. The number 7 team is the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Timberwolves are owned by Sacrifice, who look to bring back most of the core that he's had over his last 4 seasons as owner. This team is almost a guarantee for playoffs, but with their known playoff struggles, it's hard to put this team much higher on the list. The number 6 team are the Cleveland Cavaliers. Murderman and Goon was able to put together what might be the most well-rounded team this bidding. If this team can click and play well together, they'll definitely be a playoff team and possibly the first seed in the East. Coming in at number 5, we have the Portland Trailblazers. With 2 known winners in Ev LeGrand and Uncle Willie's son, Remix was able to get some good players to build around. Watch out for names like Mr. Drop You Off 561, E-Money 12, and The Realist 260 to have big impacts this season. Number 4, the Golden State Warriors. Shackle Chip, the owner of the Warriors, was able to get the majority of his Spurs team that came out with a hot 8-1 record before the restart. With a team like the Warriors, we expect them to pick up right where they left off. Number 3, the Miami Heat. Anchored by good management, the Heat put together a good team, getting some key players in Cleveland Forever 1, I-Shifting 2 Turbo, and King 161. If the other players on this team can step up and play, the Heat are in for a great season ahead of them. Number 2, the Los Angeles Clippers. With some key pickups and solid management, the Clippers look like a team that's 3 lines deep and a force to reckon with. CMC Playa looks to pick up from where he left off last season and finally make a championship. And at number 1, we have the Oklahoma City Thunder. It seems every season Jersey's Illest has been an owner, his team has won the championship. It looks like he got the majority of the people he wanted. Until someone proves otherwise, this squad has to be the favorite and most likely this year's champions. Now, I'd just like to remind you guys this is a preseason ranking, and once the season begins, videos will be made weekly. So to keep up to date and on the stats of the teams, make sure you guys subscribe to VBA TV on YouTube. So thanks again, guys, and we'll see you next week.